Hi everyone. In my previous video we looked at Packet Tracer Lab 2.3 something, 2.3, and we did two of them, which was just teaching us learning how to travel through the switch or router modes. So in that lesson we actually learn how to use the user exec mode, the privilege exec mode, and global configuration. So this is the lab that follows that, and in this lab what we are just going to be doing is configuring initial switch settings. So, and that's what we are going to do. And you can see we've got two switches. We can't actually move them, they've locked them down, but we can click on the switch, and then this time we can click on the switch and manage the switch directly. Remember the last time when we were having the lab, we were not able to click on the switch. We needed to connect the console cable. You can see even the cables, they are locked, so I can't actually choose a cable. So they actually wanted us, they've limited what we can do, and they want us to use this they've given us. So in that sense, that means we have to click on the switch to manage them. So let's see what questions we have. First and foremost, I would like to let you know that the switch and this PC, so PC1 and S1, the cable that connects them is called copper straight through. That's because both of them are different devices. And PC2 and S2 switch through, the cable that connects them is also straight through cable because they are different devices. But between these switches, the cable that connects the switches together, that's a crossover cable. If you remember, I mentioned that if they are similar devices, you use crossover. And I'm still going to mention why you use crossover, why you use straight through maybe later. But for now, this is how Cisco wants it, and we have to just follow and follow their rule. So, and that's what we are going to be doing. And then you can see, if you read from the beginning of this activity given, what they want us to do is verify the default switch configuration, configure a basic switch configuration, configure a MOTD banner, message of the day, which is MOTD, message of the day. They want us to save configuration files to NVRAM, and they want us to do everything here. They want on S1, and then they want us to do the same thing on S2. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go down. All these things here, I don't need them. I'll just go down because this is exactly what they want us to do on both switches. So we just start using it. So they said, you have completed the configuration on S1. You will now configure S2. If you cannot remember the commands, refer to parts 1 to 4 for assistance. So this is just what they want us to do. They want us to name the switch. They want us to protect access to the console using let me in as password. They want us to configure. So let's start without reading that out. So I'll click on S1. I want to always see my instructions, so I'll bring that and click this and then make it big, and I want it to just be somewhere on this side because this is all we need. From here to here is all we need, and then this is gonna be here. So after clicking on my switch 1, this is what I got. So I'll just type in enter, and remember, when you have a greater than sign, that is what your user exec mode. In order to go to the privilege exec mode, I need to type in enable. But sometimes I am used to not typing enable. I'm used to typing en instead of enable. That makes me fast, so it's quicker. I'll just do en, which is for enable, and that will take me in. And I would like to go out again and show you something. Immediately I log into this, you can see it's not asking me for any password. So they want us to set a password. But what we are going to do is we are going to follow this from A to G. We're going to follow this from A to G. And also, while we are doing that, I want to also just copy, get on Notepad, put my Notepad also on the side, because all the commands I'll be typing in there, I want to be bringing it to my notepad, because the next lesson has something to do with this also. So now I'm in the next lab. So now I'll just type in EN, that takes me in to the privilege mode. But in order to change the name of your switch to S1, remember we are on switch 1, so we are going to be using S1. So in order to change it to S1, we cannot do it here. This is privilege mode. And how do I know? I know that we cannot do it here. So let's put a question mark. And question mark will tell us all the commands that is available at this mode. So at this privilege mode, I can see that there's no command that says host name. I need the command that says host name in order to be able to change the name. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to, where is it called? I'll go to configure terminal, which will take me to the global execution and global mode. Yeah, global exec mode. So configure terminal. For me, I don't like typing in configure terminal. I just like to type conft. That's the short form, and that will take it in. So conft, and you can see now config means we are in the global execution mode. And if we type in question mark, this is going to tell us that we can do, let's see, host name. So see, set systems network name. So we can do that. So in order to do that, I'll just type in host name here, and I'll just say this is S1. So I want to do the same thing here, because I want to be copying that here from enable to host name. Yeah, am I right? From enable, yeah, to host name S1. So we've done that. Let's move on. So from here, if I just press enter, you can see the name was switched here before, and now the name is S1 now. So that's the first thing they want us to do. That's question number A. So let's go to question number B. They said protect access to the console using let me in as the password. In order to do that, in order to set password for the console, the command is line. Can you see that here? And it says configure a terminal line. All these things you just have to understand. This is how Cisco wants it. This is their system, and they determine what you can do with it. And they say if you want to set a password for their console, you have to use the line command, which is line. If I put a question mark, it's going to tell me, you can see, it's not only console we can set line VTY password as well. We are going to get there, but for now, let's do what we need to do, the console password. So I'll just type in console. If I put a question mark, it's going to tell me what next to type for this command, and it's telling me I just need to add 0. So if I just do 0, let's put a question mark, and you can see it's saying carriage return. You don't need to do anything again. That is fine for now. So if I do that, now if you don't know what to do, remember they tell us that they want us to use let me in as the password. But if you don't know what to do after typing in line console 0, if you type in question mark there, it's going to show you all the commands you can use immediately after typing in line console 0. And I know I need to set the password, and you can see password, set the password. So I'll just type in password here. I'm giving a question mark, and it's telling me to type in my password, and my password is let me in. And before I press enter, I want to quickly copy that here, what I've just done. So that is line console 0, password is let me in. So maybe I should leave a space here. And after let me in, if I press enter, there's one more command that's very, very important for me to type, and that is the login command. So let's say we finished. Let me not type in the login command. Let's see if the password we set is going to work. So I'll do exit, I'll do end, I'll do exit here just to go out. Now that I'm out, you can see it's not asking me for any password. I'm just there. That's because you missed the login command. So for every password you set, make sure you have your login command at the end of it. So enable conft takes me to the configuration mode, and line con 0 for console password, and my password is let me in, and I'll say login. Now that I've typed in login, if I go out of here and I go out fully, I'm going out, exit, 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 and I get out. Now, before I'm able to log in, it's asking me for a password. So I need to come back here, type my login. So it's asking me for a password, and I'm just going to say let me in is my password, and that's how let me in, and that's my password. I'm here, I'm there. Now if I type in enable again, that will take me to, before typing in enable, let me see what do they want us to do. We finished with number B now, so let's go to number C. They say configure an enable password of Cisco. So this is the password they want us to use now, and another enable secret password for this, and this will be that password. So let me explain this. So remember, if I go out, exit, this password that is asking me is the console password. Okay, so there are different passwords, there are different security that you have to put in place for your switch to be protected or your router to be protected. One of them is your console password, and console password is when you are in the console room and you go in there with your laptop and you plug a cable to your router or your switch and your laptop, and you are managing it from there. That's what console password means. Okay, that's what console password means. But now what they want us to do, the enable password. So let me type in the password, let me in. The enable password, remember, when you are at the user exec mode, which is where we are now, what you can do is limited. You can't do a lot. Like I showed you the last time in my video, you can see this is everything we can do here. We don't have access to a lot. But if you want to have access to a lot, you need to type in enable. And enable will take you to the privilege exec mode. So what they are saying is, before you are able to get into the privilege exec mode, where you are going to have access to more commands, we want you to put a password on there as well. So if someone is able to break in through your console password, at least your enable password should stop that person. So in order to do that, this command is easy. So let's get to configure terminal, because you cannot do that here in privilege mode. You need to go to global configuration. Every important things you want to do on your switch or your router is on the global execution mode. So let's try and see if we can actually do it here. Definitely it's going to give us error. Enable, that's the command for doing enable password, enable password, and then they said we should use Cisco $1 C0. So if I type in enter now, can you see it says invalid input detected at. So when you say this, it's telling you that this is where there is a problem. From here, where this arrow is, that's where there is a problem. Because there is no problem here with enable, because you can actually enable. Let's see, enable is part. Is enable part? Let me see. Enable. So this is just telling you enable is not even here. So this is just telling you that this is where the problem is. So this command, you can't use it here. So all you have to do is type in configure terminal, conft, and then here let's do the same thing, enable. So you can put a question mark now to see what's next. Enable what? Enable password and enable secret. And remember, what they want us to do is to set enable password and then enable secret. what is the difference between enable password and enable secret? Enable password, when you use enable password, your password is going to be in plain text. So anyone that have access to this switch and just do this command that is called show running config or show startup config, just to show what you have on your switch, is going to see this password in plain text. But with secret, with enable secret, this is going to be encrypted for you. So that's just the difference. So enable secret is the best practice. So if you say enable, it says now they want us to do enable password. So I'm just going to type password. If I put a question mark, it's going to tell me what next, and what next is for me to type in the password they want me to use, which is Cisco $CO. If I do question mark, that is carriage return, and this is telling me that that's all, you are done. Move to the next one, just press enter, and then that password is set. So let's go and confirm if that password is set by going out of our switch. Yeah, by going back up. Now, this first password is what? Is your console password. Don't ever mix the two. The first one is your console password, and that password, we set it at let me in. And now if you type in enable, you can see it's asking for password now. So this is the enable password where you are going to say Cisco. I'm not typing anywhere. C1 $C0. So that's in now. We are in now. So I know some of you might want to ask me, you might have a question like, when we are doing this, why don't we have login command immediately after it? That is because we add login command immediately after the first one. So it's not needed here no more. Okay, it's not needed here no more. So let's go and do enable secret now. So if I say enable and conft, configure terminal, conft, and now let's do enable secret. So we are going to say enable again and question mark. We want secret. Question mark. It's going to tell us to type in our password, and it's a secret. That's the password. So if we say enter now, that password is set. So quickly, I just want to type in everything I have just done. I want to type it here. So what we've done is we say we said enable password, and we set it as Cisco, and we set our enable secret as well, enable secret, and we set that as it's a secret. Okay, so we have done these two now. That is question number C, done and dusted. Okay, so let's test if that's working. If I do end and I do exit, yeah, now the first password is what? The first password is my console password, which is let me in. That's it. Now if I do enable, now what password is this asking me? Yeah, the password it's asking you is not the enable password no more, is now the enable secret. Whenever you set enable password and enable secret on your switch or your router, enable secret take precedence. So enable secret will be the one that will be working for you whenever you need to log in. So let me type in the password for enable secret. Now it's not going to let me go in. Okay, so remember that always. Enable, so you see it's not working, but if I type in it's a secret now, it's a secret, now I'm allowed to get in. So don't forget that as well. When you have both password, enable secret will take effect. Let's see, let's show what do I want to show? I want to show running config. Can you see? Let's see running. Where is running? Where is running? Where is running? This is running config. So running config will show the current operating configuration, the configuration that you have done that is running. That's what running config is going to show you. So let's do show run. If I press tab, it's going to complete this for me, and that's it. And I can press enter. And in my show run, as you can see, we set the host name of our switch to S1. We did enable secret, and you can see this is what? This is encrypted. Yeah, and you can see enable password is not encrypted. This is exactly what we typed in. So that tells you that enable secret is more secured. And you can see line console 0. Our password is also what? It's also in plain text. It's also in plain text. Okay, there's something we can do, conft, even though that's not configure terminal, even though that's not in this question, that's not here. Let's do it. So those passwords that we see that are in plain text, we can encrypt them by ourselves by doing configure terminal and use the command service question mark. Can you see service? There's where it says password encryption, encrypt system password. So I'll just type password and I'll use my tab key to complete it, and then press enter. And then if I go out again and check running config, running show, remember show run, now all our passwords, can you see this one? Enable password was in plain text, now is encrypted. And then our line password, console password was in plain text, but now is encrypted. So service password encryption helps you to encrypt all your plain text password. That's done. We are done with number C. Let's go to number D. Number D says configure an appropriate message to those logging into the switch. So they are telling us to configure a message whereby anyone logging into the switch would know that we are talking to them. So we want to say to them authorized users only. And in order to do that, I'm just going to type the command here, banner MOTD, and I'm going to use the $, and I'll say authorized access only, and I'm going to end it with the $. And that's the command you need to do this. But where do you need to do this? In configure terminal. Okay, so we are in configure terminal now. We are in the global mode now. So I can say I want to set up my banner question mark MOTD. Can you see that? I'm picking it from here, MOTD, and then question mark again. You have to leave a space, okay? Leave a space, MOTD, and it's telling me just type in what you want now. And this is what I want. I'll do $ authorized access only. And if I press enter, let's see if that's working. End, exit. Can you see? This is what we've just set for them. That's the message. So we are done with this. Let's go to configure appropriate message. Encrypt all plain text password. Actually, I didn't know that's there. This is it here. And encrypt. So let me just type it. We've done it already, so I'll just type it there. So in order to encrypt, we say service password encryption. I didn't even know it's there. So that's this. We've done that already. And the next one says ensure that the configuration is correct. How do you ensure that the configuration is correct? That's just by doing show running config and confirm that your configuration are correct. So let me in is the first password, and the second password, enable password, is it's a secret. And now that we are in, the last question says save the configuration file to avoid loss if the switch powered down. So what they're saying is, normally as it is, if you don't save this configuration file to NVRAM, non-volatile random access memory. If this switch for any reason loses its power, every configuration you have done on the switch goes with it. But if the switch does not lose its power for 100 years, your configuration remains in the running config and will continue to run. So you want to always protect, because you don't know, anything might happen. There might be power fluctuation, there might be spike and all that. So all you have to do is make sure you save this. And I think we can do that in privilege exec mode. It's one of those things that we can do in privilege exec mode. So let's see. It says what? Where is it? I'm looking. I know there's write is correct. There's another one that I normally use. I don't normally use write. There's one other command that I normally use. What's that command actually? I'm just looking for it. I'll say so I think there's a command here, but I just can't remember. Copy, yes, this is it. Copy from one file to another. So you can either save by using write or using copy. I'm used to using copy. If I say copy, yeah, I can now say question mark, what do I want to copy? I'll tell you that I want to copy what is currently running. Can you see? Copy running config. Running. I'll use the tab to complete that. Running config, question mark. Then if I copy it, where do I want to save it to? I want to save it to startup config. That is, if this computer, if my switch or my router goes off, loses its power, whenever you're coming back on, this configuration is what you should start with. So I'll just say start up. I'll finish it with that and enter, and that's been saved for me. So now if I say show running, finish it for me, show running config, it's going to show me everything we have just done. And if I say show startup config, it's going to show me what I've saved in the startup config. So what you can do sometimes is you can delete your startup config. You are still going to have your running config. Okay, because if you delete your startup config, let's do that. Erase startup config, confirm. He wants you to confirm that, confirm. But your switch is still fine. If I say show run, you can see I still have it there. But what happened is, if your switch loses its power, everything is gone. So what you can do, let's say show start now. You are going to see that there's nothing in start. There's nothing. You can see start up config is not present. So if you want something there now, what we can do is save it back by saying, let's use write now. The command write space is the first time I'm using it. Write write memory is the first time I'm using this. Write memory question mark. It will tell me what to do, and look at that. Building configuration, and then now this is the first time I'm using this command to save my running config, and now it's going to do that and save it there for us. So let me just put this command there, say copy run start. That's all, shortcut. So now that we have done all this, yeah, let me see if my show start is ready now. Show start now is ready. That's fine. So now that we have done all this, what they want us to do is to do exactly the same thing that we have done here on switch 2. Okay, exactly what we have done on here, they want us to do it on switch 2, and that was why I was doing this. I was typing it here. I can just copy it, yeah, copy, and go to switch 2, go in there, and then paste it. Just click on paste here, and everything should be done for me. What's the problem? It's not accepting this. So whenever you have a problem like this, can you see it says that it's what's it doing is it is doing domain name checkup. So to cancel that, control shift 6, I think. Yeah, you can see control shift 6 will stop that from happening. And do you know why that happened? Let's go back here. We need to type in configure terminal at the top there. Configure terminal. Can you see that now? And now, because without configure terminal, without this here, we are telling it to do everything. Let me remove it so that you can understand. So we are telling our switch to do everything under enable, whereas all of these commands are done under, apart from this last one, they are all done under what? Under global configuration. That's why you need to tell it to go to the global configuration and then do all this. I'll copy this. Copy now. Go back there. No. Go back here and paste. Enter. And now paste. What are you doing actually? I want you to go out. I want to do it from out there. Yes. And paste it here. And now everything is done. Just like that. You can see everything is done. Everything is done. So if I go out, has it done my savings for me? Let me see what I copied. Service password ignition. Where is copy start run? Oh, I didn't. That's the last one I didn't do. So let me just copy it. Copy. Come back here. Just paste it there. Copy start run and copy start run. You can see. Why is this not working? Copy start run. That's because I'm in the global configuration mode, and in order to have this command to work, you need to be in privilege mode. So I need to go out from here, and then here this command is going to work. Save, and we are done with this. So you can see all you have to do is be patient. When there is an error, take your time to fix them. Take your time to fix them. So I'm going to close this. We are done with this lab. Let's see if we completed everything. There's something that we can always use to check. I think they used to say check what we've done. Yeah, it's check results. If I go to assessment, you can see we have done everything apart from host name. That's very good. That's good. We checked it. Don't forget that this is S2, but the command we copied from here still has S1. So we need to go back to switch 2 and change the name to what's it called? Conft, and we're going to have host name as S2. Enter, and that's all. So copy, run, start, and that's it. I need to go out of here, exit, end. Where's my copy, run, start? That's it. That's it. So if we go back to check our results, assessments, you can see we've done everything, and that's all about this one. So let me see. Let's go back to. I'll close this and I'll close this. Let's do the other one, the other bit, which is 2.76. So with 2.76, come on. So with 2.76, I think it's the same as initial switch configuration. It's just having some IP address in it. So I'll cancel it. So the only difference with this and that, let me quickly see, is that console password. They want us to do that. Okay. And they want us to add IP address. So the only difference between this lab and the other lab is this information that we're given here at the top here. S1 and S2, they want us to give IP address. Okay, so this is what I'll be dealing with. I'll just deal with this table and we are going to end this lesson. Yeah, end this video actually, rather. So S1, this is S1. They want us to assign an IP address for VLAN 1 interface. They want us to assign an IP address for VLAN 1 interface on S2. They want us to give PC1 an IP address, and they want us to give PC2 an IP address. So let's start with PC1. Yeah, so if I go to PC1, I'll go to the IP configuration. Yeah, and then I am going to, I want you to be at the top, and then I'm going to just type in the IP address that I'm given. Okay, I went to PC1, I clicked on IP configuration, and then we are going to do static IP. We are going to assign IP address to it by ourselves, and the IP address is 192.168.1.1. 192.168.1.1. And definitely, if you've watched my subnetting video, you are going to know that this is a Class C IP address, and Class C IP address by default would have 255.255.255.0. so if I just press my tab key, even this computer here understands immediately. It sees that I've started with 192, knows that this is Class C. So if I do my tab, it's going to fill that for me. Can you see that? It knows that this is Class C definitely, because it's saying 192.168.1.1. So if I close this, we are done. Then the next thing they want us to do for PC2 is the same thing. Click on PC2, go to here and say that the same thing. 192.168.1.1.2. You can remember, if you remember, if it's done it again also. Can you see that? So if you remember, PC1 is .1, 192.168.1.1. PC2 is 192.168.1.2. This first three, 192.168.1, 192.168.1 is the network address. And how do I know that's the network address? Because 255.255.255. That tells me this is a Class C, and that tells me that's the network address, and this tells me this one at the end of it, the last one, the two also here at the end of at the last octet, they are the host portion. So what they want us to do in this lesson is actually test if there's going to be a connection between PC1 and PC2. In order to test if there's going to be a connection between PC1 and PC2, you click on PC1 or PC2, either of them, go to command prompt. There is a command that we called ping. Yeah, there is the ping command, and what ping command does is it's going to see if you are connected, if you can connect to another device on your network or in a remote network. Okay, it might be device in the same network as you, or it might be device in remote in another network. So if we type the network for the IP address for PC2, we are on PC1, so we are going to say ping, that is, please test, I want to see, can I connect to 192.168.1.2? Can I connect to PC2? So if you press enter and you have a reply, can you see? Reply means that you are able to connect to PC2, and you can see it says reply from PC2, and it gets there bytes 32 in 1 milliseconds. That's when, and this is the time to leave, TTL. You don't need that for now, but all you need is to see a reply. So let's try again, and we can see there's a reply. So that tells us that this network is functioning. If we go back here and do the same thing from PC2, and we try to ping, what do we want to ping? We try to ping PC1, which is 192.168.1.1, enter, you can see there's also a reply. There's one thing that's interesting which I would like to show us, and that is using the simulation. If I click on simulation here and I say I want to see show all and then edit filter, I just want to see ICMP. So ping is ICMP. So now if I click on PC2, yeah, and I'm on the simulation mode now, and I do ping 192.168.1.1, ping PC1, if you see, the simulation should start. If I say start, what's going on here? Close. Oh, sorry, I need to clear it. Show. Have you cleared everything for me? Reset simulation, and then let's go back here and do it again. Go back there. Yeah. If I say start, for some reason I can't see nothing. I want ICMP, please. Okay, that's what I want to see. So I just want to show you that before we leave. I don't know why you're doing it like that. I want you to clear. I want you to please clear this for me. Hello. For some reason, I was just trying to see if I'll be able to fix the problem with my simulation, but I'm not able to. So I'm just going to call it a day, and that will be the end of this video. And you can see everything is working, everything is pinging. Oh, I haven't done one thing left. There's one more thing that needs to be done, and that is assigning IP address for the VLAN interfaces. So let me see, can I still get it? Where are you? So for the VLAN interface, they want us to give an IP address. So if I can't see it, I think I still remember what the IP address are. So in order to assign IP address for the VLAN interface of a switch, I'm sorry about this, that's my Hyper-V trying to start itself up. Okay, so in order to give an IP address, assign IP address to a VLAN interface, I will do enable configure terminal, configure terminal, and then I'll do, that's the command is interface. Stop disturbing me now. I'll go back to my real-time mode now. So the command is interface, comma. Can you see if I do interface, it's showing me all commands that I can use with interface. So I have interface VLAN. So I'm going to do interface VLAN 1. Or you can put a question mark again, it's going to tell you what to do. So we can have from 1 to 4094 VLAN. But for now, we want to do interface VLAN 1. Enter. The command, you can check what's the next command that you can use from here. Remember, what we want to do is IP address. So this is IP. So we're just going to say IP address. If you don't know what to type after IP, put a question mark. It's going to tell you IP address, yeah, and then it's going to tell you what next. So IP address, the next thing is your IP address, which is 192.168.1. I think 253 was what they wanted, or 254 or something. So 254, yeah. So if you do that, you have to do your subnet mask 255.255.255.0. then you press enter, and you want to say no shutdown. Yeah, it's already not shut down anyway because it's up. So no shut. So this is VLAN. Now that is on. So you want to do the same thing for S2. Go there, say enable conf-t, and then interface VLAN 1 IP address 192.168.1.253 for this. 255, that is subnet mask. I'm just rushing it now. The 0, enter. You want to say no shut. So I've just done the same thing I've done on S1 on S2. And why do you think we do interface VLAN? We've done interface VLAN. It's a management interface. So if you want to manage your switch from elsewhere, maybe your switch is in America, you are in London for any holiday or whatever, you are in London for vacation, for anything, and you want to manage your switch, you need to be able to connect using PuTTY or SSH or Telnet. Yeah, so you're going to be using connecting to 192.168.1.253. Let's see if we can actually do something interesting. So if I say exit, and I say Telnet, I don't think that's gonna work. I just want to try 192.168.1.254. You can see connection to 192 closed by foreign host. That is because I haven't set up Telnet on this switch 1. If I had that, if I have a password and all that, but that's not what we want to do today. We're going to do that in another video. I'm just ahead of myself. I'm sorry about that. Have a good one, everyone. Have a good one, and then in the next video we are going to have something more interesting to tweet about. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. God bless.